Shut the fuck up, Smurf. We're gonna edit this the way we want, Smurf. And I was like, whoa, guys, chill out. They were like, nah, Smurf. Okay, none of that happened. But I need to resize this image. I do need to resize this image, though. Image sizing off. I mean, the image looks great. It looks great for a full-size image, but not for the GG. They want this shit to be weird. But I just pulled it in. I just pulled it in by like 800, and so hopefully I can get pretty much the entire thing in this next one. This next iteration. Show me the design money. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing right now because I'm not on the bit screen. Lo siento. Bit screen? Okay. We're in the wrong folder. This is the tighten up. I think it looks kind of sexy. It's kind of sexy. Yeah, but show me the new one that I just uploaded though. You don't know? There he goes. Oh, I'm weak. If it could be... I'm like, man, does it... When it's not a full thing, does it tighten even better? Yeah, and like that's when it tightens even better. Damn. What does it have to be to get the whole thing in there? I mean, I think that's perfectly fine with just the Master Chief. Super Trolley. What up, Oblivion? How it going? How you doing? I need to put something in this top section here. Would that actually give me just an image? I mean, can I drag that image upward afterwards? I don't know if I can drag that image up. I don't know that I can do that. I forget. Yeah, what if I do that? Where does it put that? Okay, it keeps putting it underneath. Yeah, it's not quite what I want. I want one, like, you know, add section maybe. There you go. I want one at the top, you know. Okay, now I'm just going to throw in the normal arcade image. Just blind arcade image. We could also do one of these ones. I wonder what that would look like. Since it's like, I want to see what this looks like since it's PNG quality. PNG might not be bad. The other one just like disappears into the darkness though. I wanted to replace it, not just totally delete it. Come on. I think this might work better with the theme going downward when it looks like this instead, actually. It's like more thematic. It's a little better. A little more. Ah, that's intentional. Stay, I guess. I don't know what to ask him for. Feel like we got it all saved. That's that shit. That's the shit right there. Okay, so we got the event made. Yay! And this is the. How do I get the entire image to show in there? That's the entire image, pretty much. It's about the trolliest image I've made in a long time. I think just this portion of it actually looks almost like it should be. You DC'd for a sec. Yeah, I did DC for a sec. I was like, oh, when you said that blue screen shit, I was like, yeah, I haven't done a blue screen in a while. It's right after I said that, I looked at shit and I'm like, oh, and there's that blue screen that I haven't gotten in a while. But yeah, we got the design up. Got some the work here throughout the week. I just gotta enter a few more things in here. NFT images themselves. Probably put that underneath this part. Underneath this, we put like a whole section to explain the NFTs themselves. Oh, pay to earn. Whoa, whoa. The fuck is that? Bro, it's called play to earn. I'm like, bro, that's not it. Okay. It's looking pretty sexy. Really sexy. Alright, I'm gonna save this. I am gonna put on a little bit of music, refill my cup. I'm gonna start playing some games. I'm gonna leave the title what it is, just because I'll probably be going in and out of this throughout the day. That's kind of the focus of today. I want to tighten this shit up so that we can, yeah. Alright. I'm gonna extend this timer, but again, we're gonna have some sexy music. Should have put you guys on some. Oh, you know what I should do? I was like, bruh. Oh, they already be having Alan Watts. Let me see. I want to see how this sounds. So we gonna put Alan Watts up, right? I got my boy's beat right here. So we're gonna start with my boy's beat. We're gonna let that come in. You know what I'm saying?
You can be watchful, you can be concentrated, you can be alert. But all that will ever teach you is what not to do. How not to do. Because it will get you into deeper and deeper and deeper binds. You have to let it happen. Just like you have to let yourself go to sleep. You can't try to go to sleep. You have to let yourself digest your food. You can't try to digest it. And so in the same way, you have to let yourself wake up. Become liberated. And when you find out, you see, that there isn't any way of forcing it, that for most people is the only way of getting them to stop forcing it. Because they won't believe when you tell them in the first instance, you've got to do this without forcing it. They'll say, well, it won't work, it won't happen. Because I'm very unevolved, I'm just an ordinary human being, I'm just poor little me. And if I don't force it, nothing will happen. People who think that if they don't struggle and strain, they won't have a boundary, or whatever it is. They think they've got to do that work in order to make it happen. In other words, all that is based on lack of faith, not trusting life. And to get people to trust life who don't trust it, you have to trick them. They won't jump into the water, so you have to throw them in. And if they're very unwilling to be thrown in, they're going to take diving lessons. You see? in which they're going to go all through, they're going to read books about diving, they're going to do all the preliminary exercises for diving, they're going to stand on the edge of the diving board and inquire whether there's the right posture until somebody comes up beside and kicks them in the butt. And they're in the water. And it's also with this. It really is. So, now the most amazing gamesmanship goes on in the whole domain of yoga and spiritual practice. You will be astounded. So, I mean, one of the games in all this is to find a little flaw. Everybody has a place where they can be jiggled a bit. Something they're a bit ashamed of, and so I think, does this person really know my secret? He's not saying anything because he's polite, but does he really see through me and know that somewhere are the awful, and that I'm a little bit upsettable? This is all part of religious competition. If you go to the Roman Catholics and you've studied, you've been psychoanalyzed, they'll say, well, that's fine, but of course it's not really enough. It's all very well so far as it goes, but, or if you're a Roman Catholic and you go to a Buddhist outfit which is on a missionary basis, they'll say, yes, of course through your Catholicism you've learned some of the basic virtues, but Catholicism doesn't go anywhere near the heart of things, because it doesn't have an elaborate system of meditation like we have. Then you go over to Hindu school and they say, yes, the Buddhists go to a certain point. They do attain a very, very high stage of realization, but there is nevertheless something higher than that, which they don't quite get. And you'll find this all round the world. Everybody claiming to have that little special extra essence which the others don't have. Now, why are they doing that? Are they all frauds? Are they all out to get you into their society? Sometimes yes. But sometimes they're trying to see whether you fall for this. Testing you out. This is upaya, skillful method. And if you become falling for that little extra special thing that's just supposed to be around the corner, then they've got you. Or rather, you've got yourself in the mix. And you have to work at that and work at that and work at that until you find out that you were being made a monkey of. But you were being made a monkey of because you could be made a monkey of. You hadn't really arrived where you are. You didn't have the nerve to be you. That is to say, to be yourself. So you had always to feel that there was something beyond that. A stage higher. So that's why, for example, masonry is so successful, 33 degrees. And you know, you can go up that ladder and get higher and higher status. The more degrees, the merrier. There have been things that have invented hundreds of degrees. And they're in immense success. Because you can postpone it longer and longer, like Achilles overtaking the tortoise. Now, he doesn't overtake it in the problem, because we keep dividing and dividing the space between Achilles and the tortoise as he approaches the tortoise. What delays Achilles overtaking the tortoise is not Achilles, but our calculations about how he approaches it. We make the calculations more and more complicated as he gets nearer and nearer to the tortoise. It's only the calculations that put it off. Achilles, in fact, runs right by. So in the same way, you can calculate yourself out of liberation. You can put it off indefinitely by inventing new degrees and new stages. But actually, when you get it, you don't get it. You suddenly see it. It happens instantly. It happens instantly whether you put in 30 years practice or whether you put in 3 minutes. It's the same. Suddenly it dawns on you. That's the way things are. Patronasi. Medieval society in the West, comparable to Hindu society, allowed people to check out of the game. It revered and encouraged hermits, monks, nuns, of various types of discipline. There's this difference, you see, for the West and India. You couldn't join the Brahmana caste, the priest caste, from some other caste. But in the European caste system, by becoming a priest, or a cleric of any kind, you see, a cleric means simply a literate person, you could familiarize with any other caste once you're in that one. And so it was a wonderful way of rising in society. You could, from being a serf, go to being a priest, to being an archbishop, and consort with the nobility. It was the only way open to cross castes, you see. And because they were the literate people, it was through literacy and through universities founded by clerics that our caste system began to break. And we got the idea of choosing your own vocation and not simply following what your parents did. Now I want to make an observation here about checking out of the game. This is not encouraged in contemporary society. Because the Catholic Church and the Episcopalian Church are very powerful minorities, they can still support monasteries and even homes. But you can't be one on your own without great difficulty. Firstly, because you're a poor consumer. See, around here we have a number of hermits. There's a guy out there building that boat, and he's essentially a non-joiner, poor consumer. And the community, they live a lot along here. And they're not working class people. They are people who dropped out of college because they thought it was stupid. And they're that sort of people. We would call them perhaps beatniks. But you see, the city doesn't like it because they aren't owning the right sort of cars, and therefore the local car salesman isn't doing business to them. They don't have lawns, so nobody can sell them lawnmowers. They hardly use dishwashers, appliances of that kind. They don't need them. And also they wear blue jeans and things like that, and so the local dress shops feel they put out having these people around. And they live very simply. Well, you mustn't do that. You've got to live in a complicated way. You've got to have the kind of car, that identifies you as a person of something, and status and all that. So there's a great problem here in our society. Now, why is there this problem? There's always a very inconsiderable minority of these non-joiners, or people who check out of the game. But you will find that insecure societies are the most intolerant of those who are non-joiners. They are so unsure of the validity of their game rules that they say everyone must play. Now that's a double bind. You can't say to a person, you must play, because what you're saying is, you are required to do something which will be acceptable only if you do it voluntarily. You see? So everyone must play is the rule in the United States. And it's the rule in almost all Republican governments. I mean Republican in the sense of democratic. Because they're very uneasy. Because everybody's responsible. I mean, you may try not to be and avoid it and say, oh, let the senators take care of it, or the president. But theoretically, everyone's responsible. Now, that's terrifying. See, it's all right when you know what's right. There is an aristocracy, there is the clergy, and they know what should be done, and they're used to ruling, you see. But now it's in your hands. You say, well, what are we going to do? Well, I think this way, and you think that way, and he thinks the other way. And so we're all unsettled. And therefore, we become more and more conformist. Individualism, rugged individualism, always leads to conformism, because people get scared. And so they herd together, and it compounded with industrial society, mass production, etc. They all wear the same clothes, and they're sensible clothes that don't show the dirt too much. And we get duller and drabber, and with the exception of the Californian Revolution. So the reason for this is, in a way, that democracy as we have tried it started out on the wrong foot. You see, in the scriptures, the Christian scriptures, it says everybody is equal in the sight of God. Now that's a mystical utterance. That means that from the standpoint of God, all people are divine and are playing their true function. And that is something that is true on a certain plane of consciousness. But come down a step and try to apply the mystical insight in the practical affairs of everyday life, and what do you get? You get a parody of mysticism. You get the idea not that everybody is equal in the sight of God, but that all people are equally inferior. And that's why all bureaucracies are rude, why the police are rude, and why you're made to wait in lines and are obstreperous income tax individuals and all that sort of person. Because everybody's a crook. Everybody's equally inferior. See, that becomes the parody of democracy. And that kind of society, watch out for it. It turns in a quick click into fascism because of its terror of the outsider. Now, a free and easy society loves outsiders. In fact, it's a little bad for the outsider's integrity because he becomes holy man, see? And people make salams and give him food and all that. They really take care of the outsider because they know that man is doing for us what we haven't got the guts to do. That outsider who lives up there in the mountain is at the highest peak of human evolution. His consciousness is one with the divine. And great, just there is someone like that around. It makes you feel a little better. He has realized, he knows what it's all about. So we need a number of those people. Even though they don't join our game, they tell us, you see, what you're doing is only a game. It's okay, I'm not going to condemn you, but it is only a game, and we up on the mountaintop are watching you. We love you, we have compassion for you, and, but excuse please, we aren't going to join. So that gives the community great strength, because it tells the government, in no uncertain terms, that there's something more than government. That's why wise kings kept not only priests, but court fools. The court fool is much more effective than the priest, to remind the king that after all he's human. And, you know how in Richard II, where the fool is called the antic, the king says,
Alright folks, what's up? It's your boy, MMG Smurf. Hopefully you've been enjoying this tune I had going on a little loop for you. Track from my boy, Hoodie Allen, or Hoodie Anakin, excuse me. I like Hoodie Allen. Hoodie Anakin, releasing tracks, beats. Money Match Gaming will have these beats as NFT form for gamers, streamers, and the like. They want to add a little flair to their content and their stream production. So yeah, BLs are fad. BLs are fad. Coming to you guys on the couch. On the couch today. Yeah, let's get this thing booted. To boot it. Wait, I'm